All right, good morning. So, intro to art, let me just be the first to apologize for not being here on another Friday. We're going to continue along the lines of what we do every Friday, which is work on our sketchbook challenge. And this Friday is no different than the other Fridays that we've had. An opportunity to kind of get out, bust out from the norm, working with the watercolor mess that we've been doing over the past few days, and just kind of get back and have some fun. Marvel month of March is still going on. I'm still accepting some of your guys' submissions for extra credit points. However, today's sketch, this one that we're going to be working on today, is going to be an assignment that needs to either be emailed into me and or posted through Twitter or Instagram using the hashtag MHS Sketchbook Challenge. Now, just like for the rest of the month, we were just kind of doing quick draw with me tutorials, and this is going to be exactly the same. Today I'm going to show you guys and draw with you a very simple sketch of a character from Marvel Comics that you guys can master in 45 minutes. And additionally, at the end of this video, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of instruction about how you're going to go about finishing this. But today's theme is the Merc with a Mouth, the Marvel character Deadpool. Some of you guys should be rather familiar with him because he does have a few movies out. Actually, he's only got one movie. I apologize. He's only got one, but I know number 2 is coming out. I already saw the trailer for it. Ryan Reynolds is doing a great job. So let's start drawing ourselves some simple shapes to make up Deadpool. This one's going to start off much like we've done with the rest. You can kind of even see some of my lines here. I'm going to start off working with Deadpool's chest and actually represent that, his body, with a square. Okay. Now there's going to be some additional lines that we got to kind of be, I guess, in mind about and stuff like that. But this square box is just going to represent his chest. Moving down from that, I'm just going to go in and sketch out some long legs. And I think this line here is going to make it a little bit better so it actually closes up and makes it look like it's his legs. Now, feet-wise, I like to try to keep this simple. So I'm not going to try to overcomplicate my feet anyway. And again, I'm doing drawings like this because really you only have 35 minutes to work on it. So I don't want to get into something that's too complex. I want to do something that's rather easy. Now, moving up through the rest of him, I'm going to give him a little neck here. Just kind of a small rectangle or box. And then I'm going to come in with his head. Now, this one's going to be a little bit narrower. However, one of the things I am going to do at the top of his head right there, sorry for my hand blocking it, one of the things I am going to do is I'm just going to add sort of a curve shape, but I'm not going to close the line in all the way. This is something that's been happening on Deadpool's designs, at least his comic book designs more recently, to kind of give the idea that he's sort of a sarcastic, silly comic book character. They don't necessarily give him correct fitting costumes. So to kind of embellish that, we're just going to draw like a little bit of fabric here, a triangle shape on the corner of his head, making it look like his mask doesn't fit him all that well. Now, we're going to get into some details here on the face. I'm going to do like a half oval here and a half oval here for his eyes. And then really all I have left is to draw out some arms, which I'm just going to do some alternating curves here. Arm number 1, and then arm number 2. I'm connecting these arms, right to the side or the shoulders here, just so that, the lines run together and there's no confusion there where to put them. Now, of course, if you guys want to have a little bit of fun with this, go ahead, be my guest. You want to draw some things a little bit differently, that's awesome. I'm just doing this for all those people that don't necessarily feel super comfortable drawing and don't really know, where they're going to put stuff at. Now, Deadpool has lots of different weapons. He's most probably known for his katana blades, but Deadpool was a creation or a creation of a comic book artist by the name of Rob Liefeld. And during the early '90s, when he was creating some of these characters, what was the big fad was ninja weapons and big, ridiculously big guns, laser guns, machine guns, whatever. So a lot of the characters like this have like so many weapons, it's not even feasible for them to actually have these things or be able to work. But I'm going to draw Deadpool with his trademark katanas here. And to do that, I'm going to just draw a long, slender line here to be the sword above his head. And I'm going to do the same down here. Whoop. Okay. Now, of course, it's kind of weird because you got these swords or these katanas with no hands holding onto them. And if you can see my pencil marks here, I've already kind of roughed out the shapes of where I'm going to put my hands. I just want to describe to you guys on film exactly what my mindset is here when I'm drawing them. So first things first, what I like to do is I like to draw, especially like all these drawings that I do in 45 minutes with you guys, I like to make sure that there's an easy separation between where the arm is and where the hand is. So what I'll do is I'll usually start off with a line right here and then extend it down. Oh, my marker's running out. Extend it down and do that old school elementary thing where you have little fingers, right? And to make it look like he's holding on, I'll just pop out a thumb and then extend that line up, just so that it gives the illusion for a glove right there. And then I can finish off the rest of this sword by just drawing like a long, like, I don't know exactly what the word is for that, but I'll extend the handle right here. Let me pause because there's someone at the door. All right, sorry about that. I'm hoping this is still recording because I'm going to finish up the drawing that we have here. It looks like I still have a recording icon. So I left off drawing this little hand right here, and I'm just going to move up and kind of do the same. However, this hand that's above his head or close to his head is going to be a little different. To do a hand that's holding on to something that's closed fist, but it's facing you. I don't know if I can do this, and oh, that looks weird. To do this is really simple. All you got to do is draw the fingers as like tiny little ovals, like that, and then I'm going to continue the handle straight through like that. So I basically continue drawing my rectangular handle with like 3 little ovals in there. And then I'm going to connect this down sort of to like this glove thing that I was drawing over here as well. But this time when I come up, because I know he's got a thumb, I'm just going to kind of make a little box shape, little L shape. Okay? Now, this is the overall look of our character, of our Deadpool character, but there's some other little things that we can add here and things that I want you guys to kind of be aware of. Now, you can look up a picture of Deadpool and see kind of a couple variations of his costume, but I'm going to do some simple ones that you guys can follow along with. For example, like in his chest, on his uniform, there's like usually like a border of black, so I'm just going to kind of come in here and fake it a little bit. I mean, I am looking off the screen that I have open right here of a design, but, you know, there's so many different ways that you can look at this. I think it's up to you guys to design how you want to. So, almost like you use the negative space here to draw like a letter I in the middle of his chest, but I don't know. Now, I'm going to continue that on down the side, but he is well known for wearing a belt. So maybe like right in the middle, we throw like this belt looking thing. And then maybe just, I don't know, shade or fill in and color in this area. Now, as I move down, you know, there's just a couple of other extra things that I do, like maybe shade this down here, fill this in because my lines got a little bit out of whack. Maybe to show that this is actually a boot. Put some rubber treads on there. And then really all we're looking at here is maybe adding some details that, you know, you as an artist, as a drawer in class can kind of have some fun with. All right. Now, the one thing that we've got left over is this eye area. And when Deadpool was being created, there's a lot of different ways to go about, and people thought character design, he was kind of a ripoff of a few different characters. Deadpool was designed by a guy, he was created by a guy by the name of Rob Liefeld. I think I name dropped him earlier. And Rob Liefeld got his start in Marvel Comics drawing Spider-Man. Okay? So he was already drawing a character that kind of looked like this. His job was just to kind of create other characters along the line, and if they worked, they would put him in there. So he kind of mimicked the same spandex suit idea, but this time, since it was the crazy 90s, threw some crazy, you know, ninja weapons at him, but kind of kept the same design. So what I'm going to do here, I got to find my white pen, which I don't have. Oh, yes, I do. Sorry about that. I'm going to fill in these ovals with all the way black, but use my white pen just to add little dots for his eyes. Okay. Now this would probably be a little bit easier for you guys if you just circle the area that you want to add the dots and then shade around that or fill in around that. Okay. All right. So now that you've got the majority of this design down, let's get back to the idea of what the challenge is of this drawing. Now, in class, we have been working with watercolor. Sorry about that, I have a fan running, right? We've been working with watercolor, and you guys have been working with, you know, the palettes and putting water in there and activating things and all the same. I briefly talked to you guys about the way that watercolor comes, the way that it can be used either in a palette form or in a squirt tube, but there is an additional way, a third way, and that is watercolor pencils. Not regular color pencils, but watercolor pencils. And I do have a set of these that traditionally get mixed up with the regular color pencils. You can tell the difference here, and I'll show the camera here, because they have a paintbrush in them. Now, the traditional watercolor pencil is a bit softer than your regular color pencils, so sometimes if you're using them a little bit too hard, they will break. But what I'm going to have you guys do is I'm going to have you guys come in and just introduce a little bit of color into it. You'll notice that when I do this, I'm not really stressing right now about filling it all up with a bunch of red. As a matter of fact, I'm not even really pressing all that hard. You should not be making something that bright. That is absolutely way too much. Don't do that. Something that's nice and light, just with a little kiss of that color in there. Because again, these tips are super soft. They're not actually made out of lead or graphite or anything like that. They're actually made out of well, watercolor pigment. So go ahead, and what I'd like you guys to do is I'd like you guys to switch up using what you guys know already about color theory and introduce some pigment and create your own color scheme, Deadpool, for yourself. Traditionally, his colors are red and black. For you guys, I'd like you to select any of the colors represented with the watercolor pencils that I have available to you. Now, as you guys are working along with this, as you guys are trying to attempt this challenge, you'll notice that in my drawing right here, the lines look really scribbly, because when we get back from break or from the weekend, I'm going to have you guys come back to this using these tools and actually activate the watercolor pigment that you put here just by adding a little bit of water. I'm not going to have you guys do that now today because I think you may run out of some time, But I want to stress to you guys that you're going to have to use this a little bit lighter than you would normally a regular pencil. You should not be doing that. That is way too hard right there. So be able to keep in mind exactly what the look should be. It should be kind of light. Now again, I recommend not drawing in Sharpie because sometimes the water makes the Sharpie bleed, but I did it here in my sketchbook so that you guys could actually see what it was that I was drawing. Use the watercolor pencils that I've left out for you guys to create your own color scheme Deadpool. Take a picture of it, use the hashtag MHS Sketchbook Challenge, and I will see you guys when I get back next week. Good luck.